Hello, everyone. Hi, Lori. How you doing out there in the farm?
Hi, look who's with me, Yuki.
Hi, Yuki. Now he's big.
He's huge. He's 120 pounds. Great,
Whoa,
great white Pyrenees. Yeah,
he's beautiful. He's very beautiful, actually.
farm dog. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of energy work with Yuki, haven't we, Veronica?
We sure have.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've learned something from working with you that, for example, his self-esteem needs work. And I thought, oh, I didn't know a dog, but that it makes sense, doesn't it?
Hmm.
If he's always in trouble or he's trying to be corrected or whatever. But he's
Yeah,
lovely, so I'm sure people at home won't mind at all, and I don't think MIRICRIS will mind if he
good.
comes in. Okay?
Perfect.
Invite in MIRICRIS, and because I'll do a little intro that because the Trump administration is doing their worst right now, that I wanted us to talk with MIRICRIS and get some perspectives if we can, and also to heal ourselves, give ourselves some strengthening golden light. Do you have something to say, or he's all right, hey?
He's just, there was a car that went drove by. See, we're in the middle of nowhere. So
And
everything is stimulation for him, everything. So
let's
my
try this. Let's call
apologies.
in golden light and wrap him in golden light and see if it
There we
helps.
go. Okay.
Yeah. Let's call in from infinity plus one. Draw down this amazing stream of gold light. You might even see it bubbling around the edges and into the core of the earth and back up. And as it swishes up and down, you and I and Sweet Doggy get to be kind of clarified. And here comes Miracris. We are here with you. We are here with you today. And we see that there is quite a lot of your society right now is quite rattled by what the political situation is doing. You're aware of that, are you not?
Hmm.
And,
Yeah,
and this one asked us to please help build barriers of light between one another and between any kind of offensive political rabble, so you'll all get through it. Not only not trammeled, but also lifted so that you can become stronger and lead the way.
hmm.
This is a very difficult time for your society, but we say to you, you will feel assured that you're going to conquer this. And we will say once and for all. You understand that?
Hmm.
We have several phases to go through, including influences of other uh, societies and other countries. However, it is step by step moving out of a very intense and complex, intricate weaving of politics and power around the world. It doesn't just stop at the United States. It's
Hmm.
been intricately woven throughout Russia, China, uh, Ukraine, all of these different places, even the Middle East, and so on. You'll notice there's a great number of strings and streams from America into these other countries. So we're saying to you, this is a really difficult time for people in America. However, we see that over the next, maybe it'll take longer than you want it to take. However, it might be as close to a year or so, or it might be longer, but it's to extricate many countries from this incredible network in which they're caught. And so if you let yourself have the patience, and the other thing we want to encourage is that each person listening reaches for the higher light within themselves and within their own environment, running great light beams through yourself and so on. You'll radiate that. It'll be in your auric fields, and that will separate you from the obnoxious, combative energies of other people.
Now, Miracris, hi. Excuse us.
Hi.
I'm assuming you hear a dog. Come here. Um,
We like dogs, Lori.
I, MIRICRIS, we were wondering if you could comment on, actually, I'm going to mute myself and uh, if you could comment on this military meeting that just happened, hundreds of generals, and nobody would applaud for Trump within the meeting.
We see that. The problem with that is that makes Mr. Trump very angry. And he feels offended. He doesn't seem to understand the problem, although he is a bit of a weasel. So he does know how to weasel in and around it all. And we're seeing that some of the generals, and some of these come from other parts of the world. And we said that this is a very intricately woven netting around the world anyway, and you know that.
Mhm.
And some of these soldiers are going to work totally against Trump's orders. You understand that?
Ah,
So they're standing up for a kind of betrayal of their own country is one way to look at it. But we're saying it's different than that. It's the ethics and the integrity of those who are in positions that are very high.
do you
Some
think
of,
this is the beginning of, do you think there could be a military coup?
yeah, I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think there's a dislodgement of Trump and his band of thieves, if you will. There's quite a dislodgement of their power. They've lost credibility all over the world. One place in which they've lost credibility is in Russia. And we're saying to you, it's not a simple coup. What it is the extrication of this weaving from different countries as they lose respect and faith in him. And the American military is in, we put it this way, in kind of a subtle protest that will not work to support the edicts by Trump. So that's a betrayal, as we already said it, as a betrayal of Mr. Trump, but not to the American people. It's following the Constitution, it's following the ethics of being an American. And so you're going to find a lot of people in America are coming undone as far as who belongs to what. Some of the people who are Republicans, that's going to break apart. And even some of the Democrats are going to break apart in the sense of arguments about what's destructive to America and what isn't. And we want this fight for all of them because they have to refine their integrity. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing, oh, there's not that much bloodshed, but there could be a lot of bloodshed if it goes just over the wrong hill, if you understand.
Will so will are they going to continue taking orders from Trump and sending people into the cities?
No, they, oh, that isn't true. Some will, but mostly the actual soldiers are going to reject and their leaders are going to reject that opportunity. If
Mm.
they go into, if they go into the cities, there will be battles like you don't want to see. You
What?
understand that?
Yeah, well, they're in the cities now. It's just who's next? He's going in one by one.
Which cities, which
Oh,
city is,
Portland is the most recent one. Well, we got Chicago. He was in Boston. They were in LA and San Francisco.
and
Um,
how did LA take them, Lori?
well, this is the whole battle with Gavin Newsom. He took them to court. He won part of the battle. It's still a little confusing what's going on. I think it's the
But the
National
thing is that it
Guard.
wasn't a conclusive event. Pardon?
Uh, anyways, I just want to know because the military is in the cities. So, not just the National Guard, he's putting Marines in some of these cities. So, you know.
Well, we're saying to you that it appears that there will not be much more than a skirmish here and there because the military people themselves, the ones, especially the ones that are conscious, ones that are unconscious might not play the game I'm speaking of, but there's not going to be a huge success with the military going into cities.
Hmm.
And they know that this is against the Constitution, the military people do. And
Right.
a lot of the people who are going to be upset are playing the game with them, don't have a clue about the Constitution. Do you realize that? There's a lot of ignorance in America right now.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I was just looking at some of the latest headlines. Uh,
What is it saying now?
well, this isn't current, sorry. Um, anyways, we just need to know that the military is going to uh, push back, you know.
It's very interesting because they're um, subtly moving forward in a way, and then aggressively moving forward, and then moving back and doing it again. Because what they're trying to do is take precautionary measures so they don't lose the ground they've made. Do you understand? And they're pulling out of several cities right now. We don't see that that's going to be a terrible thing. And the biggest thing about the cities that is really terrible is that Trump is insisting on doing that. And any support he had is going down the tubes at that point. They can't believe he's actually being that ignorant. Understand?
Yeah, what's happening with Pete Hegseth?
Well, when you say what's happening with him, we say he's out of control, but he's not really in his own head. Do you know that? He's not very intelligent at this point. I think he's a very smart man, but he's not working his brain very well. And he's trying to, and you know this, he's trying to impress Trump and people with his bravado, but it's not working at all. People are really disgusted with him.
Oh, we just keep saying how much longer, you know.
We cannot answer that because, as we said to you a minute ago, that they're working their way in and out and then backing up and working their way in and out of making the changes. And how long does that take? We do not know. However, it should be done fairly soon. Perhaps what is the first of the month? That perhaps I would say right now, we're going to take a chance and say around the 20th of October, you should see a huge difference by then.
Wow. Does that
Mhm.
mean we're gonna get wind that that there's pushback, or we're gonna get wind that Trump isn't in good health? I mean, what?
No, you do not want it to be dealt with Trump's bad health. You want it to be dealt with his feet. You understand? And we're seeing that he can be crushed. Well, his health is terrible too. However, we're seeing that he can be crushed by several things that have happened over the last 2 weeks. Probably the Epstein situation is under the underpinning, pulling him down. And Elon is coming in to try to do some rescuing, and that won't work because many people are angry with him as well. And so we're seeing that it's as if the Trump regime is going to peter out. And we
Mm,
say by the 15th to the 20th of November of October, you should see quite a diminishment of his power and the people in it. And the follow-up on his association with Epstein and so on is going to be very demanding and very dramatic. And he'll be paying some big penalties. You understand that? Yes.
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And you want that. That's why we're saying you don't want him to just get sick. You want him to pay back some of the integrity that he has frittered away on this country.
Oh boy. Wow.
It's hard to understand it, except, but do you understand that it can't just be cut and dried? It can't be. It's working its way through the inner fabric. And some of it is taking longer than we thought, but it looks like it's more assured right now. And you have a lot of people that are in the services and in politics and in positions of power that are being very undercurrent, that are being sleuth-like. Do you understand that?
Yes, yes, yes. There's a whole back
And you,
thing going on that we don't even know about.
exactly, well, you want that. You want that, don't you?
Absolutely.
Mhm. So we're seeing, and we're trying to be supportive. One of the things that this one was asking us about was about teaching people to build their lives, teaching people to bring in a golden stream of light from right through from infinity plus one down through their heads, right down through the core of their being and into the core of the earth, bring it back up. And then from that light in their core, radiate, radiate, radiate. Any way you can figure out how to do it, because what it does is it gives you barriers between people who are in darker frames of mind, people who are really angry, people who are doing illegal things. It just gives you a defense without it being violent and so on. And we want people to feel safe, because when you get really scared or in a rage, you kind of lose track of where you're going and who are your allies. We're saying to people, build your light, build your light. You understand that, Lori.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even the dogs like that. Your dog's fairly content right now.
uh
Not
kind
quite.
it's a process with Yuki.
Well, what we say now, looking inside of him, he looks calmer inside than he did. And you want that.
Thank you.
Anyway, what other questions do you
Okay.
want to ask? We can't give you definitive time, space answers because, as you heard, so much of it is like a yeast that the water's been added to. So it's kind of bubbling up and expanding and growing, and we
Right.
don't quite know. Yes. And you want to
Right.
see it that way and send your light that way so that you can enjoy some of the changes that come up. We don't think it'll be very long, actually.
Wow. This is just wonderful. So amazing to see it crumble and fall apart.
And bless, 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 it's falling apart.
And bless the people who bless the people who are standing up and saying no. You
Mhm.
know, the evolutionary heroes of the week, of which Yuki is not one of them right now.
And the other idea is that they're standing up and saying no, but there are many sleuthing under the surface in order to pull the props out from under the administration. And they're not admitting all that because they don't want to battle, do they? Not there.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's stuff that we don't even hear about, right? Because it's so under the undercurrent. It can't be revealed, basically.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's a very good thing that they're that. And you know something, Lori, you probably know this already. That kind of sleuthing is going on all over the world through corporate structures and other people's governments
mhm,
to do with Mr. Trump and his
mhm.
autocratic takeover, because many countries count on the American uh, way of life or the American financial core and all of that. And they're all losing. It's not just about saving America. It's about like, get this networking tidied up. Epstein did a terrible, terrible thing to the whole country, as did Elon. You understand that? And both of them have really taken a huge bite out of life on the planet. And so has Trump, so is Trump. But you have some wonderful, wonderful undercurrent beings out there that are wanting to take care of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. We're saying be proud. Be proud of the country and the might of the individuals involved. Be proud of them. They need that kind of fanning their flames even from a distance. You understand that?
Right. Yeah. All right, MIRICRIS. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom and helping us.
We're here with you all. We're here with you, and this isn't an end in itself, but we're happy to speak with you soon.
All right. Love to you, and we'll talk very soon.
Much love to you and all the people that are listening and worrying. Don't worry, it's changing. It's changing. And we're sending much love from these other dimensions.
Oh, thank you. Don't worry, be happy. Yuki, don't worry.
And one more thing is that this is evolutionary for a lot of people in America.
Yeah.
It's something to remember. And it does give you a different perspective.